Okay. Well, welcome everyone to our May meeting. Nice to have you all here. This will be our agenda for the evening, some announcements and some news. Then we will have Beth Adams give her presentation following the trails of the Beth's Bibles. And then after Beth, we will just talk about some of our upcoming meetings. The Durham Region Branch acknowledges the lands and peoples of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation, the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nation, and a large Métis community. We recognize the lands on which we gather are covered under the Williams Treaties and rest within the traditional territory of the Mississaugas. We honor, recognize, and respect these nations as the traditional stewards of the lands and waters on which we meet. So last month we introduced Adopt a Cemetery, and we're making progress. We've had 4 adoptions already. And in fact, we've added a couple of new ones under Clark Township because we finished the 2 that were available under Clark Township. You don't have to live near the cemetery to adopt one. It's just retyping. And we give you all the tools that you need. These cemeteries are all fairly small and don't take long to retype. We supply the formatted template and a copy of the scanned original transcription, as well as a helpful guide. And don't forget, we are having cemetery picnics this year. It's a tradition from the 80s and 90s. This is where we spend the whole day transcribing the new stones in a cemetery, and then we enjoy our lunches while chatting with other genealogists. It's a fun day out. So Hampton Cemetery in June, the dates are there. And then at the end of September, beginning of October, is the Lakeview Cemetery down in Newtonville. These are always great fun, and I hope that you would enjoy it too. Just come out, or you can contact Janice if you have any questions. The advice is to bring water, lunch, hat, and sunscreen, and maybe even bug spray, lawn chair, and a clipboard. So if you want to just show up on the day, that's fine too. We will welcome you with open arms. This notice is for members of the Ontario Genealogical Society. The annual general meeting will be virtual on Saturday, June 8th. So look for your packages coming out this month. And conference is coming up really soon. It's June 14 to 16 with pre-conference workshops and tours on the 13th and 14th. And I'd like to announce that Durham Region Branch is sponsoring a speaker at the conference, Cher Latouze, a local author, historian, and storyteller, and she was our April speaker at this meeting. She's going to be talking about the secrets of maps on this Saturday afternoon. And registration, just note that this is different from other years. Registration closes on June 1st, so you have less than a month to register. There will be no registration on site. However, the marketplace, our vendor hall, is open to the public, so you do not have to register to come and talk to us. We'll have a table there. And then you can browse other tables, and maybe you'll find a publication that will help you break down a family mystery. You never know. The extra special mini conference on artificial intelligence and genealogy now has a virtual option, as well as being the day before the conference on site. And some big names are coming to give us the lowdown. I have heard Steve Little speak. He's an excellent speaker, as is Daniel Horowitz and Blaine Bettinger, and Johnny Pearl as well. Now, Ireland research is always a hot topic. The Ireland Special Interest Group of Ontario Ancestors is putting on a webinar this coming Thursday, the 9th at 7 p.m. The Unplanned Irish Immigration to Canada. So Melanie McComb is going to show us using published and online primary sources about the migration of the Irish to Canada before and during the Great Famine. We'll also review the different immigration schemes, like the Peter Robinson settlers to Ontario and the Monaghan settlers to Atlantic Canada. So learn how to find the records that might help you with your Irish ancestors. The webinar is free to society members, and non-members can purchase and access the live presentation and the recording for 2 weeks for only $10. So you need to go to the OGS main webpage and scroll down to the events calendar to get to that registration link. In Ancestry DNA news, they've had a product called SideView for the last couple of years. Well, they are allowing us to see parental ethnicity inheritance, which splits the pieces of different countries and regions by the parent that you inherited that DNA from, but only till May 13th. After that, you will need to have either a DNA Plus subscription to see it or a full subscription to Ancestry. Last time I mentioned to hold on, there might be a Family Tree Maker tour. It doesn't seem like it's going ahead. It was supposed to be early May, and we're there, and there's absolutely no registration or preparations made for it. I really hope Family Tree Maker will have a booth at the conference, Venter Hall, in June. And unfortunately, another experience in our region this time has been canceled. A Cornish event has been canceled due to lack of interest in registration. So that's a disappointment. In local news, the Uxbridge Genealogical Group is going to have a members brick wall evening. That's Thursday, May 16th, $5 at the door, or you can become a member for $25 a year. And the Lakeshore Genealogical Group out of Coburg Public Library tomorrow night has Coburg street names, who and why, and it's a former mayor, Peter Delanty, is going to combine both recent and early history to entertain them with stories of how many of those streets actually got their names. So it took close to 30 years to follow the trail from a Betts family Bible in Pickering to an older one in California that led back to family roots in colonial Connecticut. And I can't wait to hear Beth tell us how that happened. Anyway, Beth is a teacher who retired to Pembroke after a 30-year teaching career in Toronto. She is on the education committee for Toronto branch and presents frequently for OGS, FISCO, which is British Isles Family History Society of Greater Ottawa, and the United Empire Loyalist Association of Canada. Beth started doing family history research in her late teens and has loved chasing dead people ever since, and has also helped family and friends with their DNA results. So we're going to just take about 5 minutes to get everything switched over. So stand up and stretch and go get refreshments, and we'll be back shortly. Hopefully everybody can see that. Perfect. Thank you.
That's what you're broadcasting.
Okay. So, as always, if you find what we've been doing and the speakers that we have scheduled are valuable, we invite you to visit our website and punch the Canada Helps button and send us a donation, and you get your tax receipt automatically by email, which is really handy service. Upcoming meetings in June, we've got Jane McNamara talking about untangling township records. If you've never heard of township records, I'll give you a little background here. They're a highly organized series of records resulting from the very hectic and disorganized activities of the Crown Lands Department. Consider some 72 meters of orphaned land-related records, often submitted or pulled from their original files because of a dispute or inquiry. And before being sent to the Archives of Ontario, the records were sorted by township and lot to make them accessible. They're not quite comprehensive, but they cover a large percentage of Ontario properties, and they can contain anything from warrants, location tickets, settlement duty certificates, assignments, transfers, explanatory notes, diagrams, letters from neighbors and other witnesses, anything that might prove ownership or occupancy and settle disputes. So that will be a really interesting one for a set of records that has been microfilmed and are available on familysearch.org to go through by lot and concession. September, we are going to have a United Empire Loyalist talk with Catherine Late Hogan. And in November, I'm in negotiations with an archivist from the United Church Archives in Toronto, to come and tell us all about what they have in their archives. So our DNA Special Interest Group meets May 15th at 7 p.m. Send me an email if you wish to join us. That's nancy.trimble@gmail.com or durhamchair@ogs.on.ca. Our virtual social and research drop-in is May 23rd at 11 a.m. And we have quite wide-ranging discussions. It's always fun to drop in. Anything goes. General genealogy, social conversation, DNA questions, reminiscences, lookups. The sign-up link is the Ontario Ancestors Events Calendar. Just go to ogs.on.ca and go to the bottom of the homepage and you can get into the events calendar. We are reopen here at the research room in the Northminster United Church. Unfortunately, you can only see a little bit. Okay. But we had someone today consulting Steve on DNA. We've got someone booked next Tuesday for another DNA consultation. We have quite an extensive library, and it isn't just Durham region. We hold English, Scottish, Irish, other provinces of Canada, and some of the northeastern US records as well. So send us your questions. Steve's address is right there, durhamresearch@ogs.on.ca. And we're also open for about a half an hour before every meeting, every hybrid meeting that we hold in the room. So thank you very much for coming. And we hope to see you at next month's meeting. Bye, everyone.